Pakistan has been double crossing the USA since day one. Could it be possible that the US has made a deal with Taliban to Balkanize Pakistan since it is the root cause of all the trouble, or is it just wishful thinking? See, the Americans knew very well what the Pakistanis were doing. It is not double crossing. It was all designed to be this way. They knew that the Pakistanis have created the Taliban. They knew they maybe perhaps even had a deal with the Pakistanis that we will invade and occupy Afghanistan. We will wipe out the Taliban to some extent from Afghanistan, but we will allow you to keep your guys, your Talibanese fighters within Pakistan, so that your geopolitical objectives are also fulfilled in the long term. So maybe there was a deal between America and Pakistan, and maybe that's why they allowed the Pakistanis to keep sheltering the Taliban within Pakistan, even though it was costing the lives of American soldiers. Soldiers are just cannon fodder. They're expendable, doesn't matter. So it is not very much about double crossing. It is probably an agreement of some sort, and an understanding that the Pakistanis and the Americans had at that time. Now, when the Americans invaded Afghanistan, the world was very different. They also wanted to punish India at the time for going nuclear. In 2021, the world has changed a lot, and America's geopolitical objectives are very different. Today, Pakistan has gone into the Chinese camp. The Americans no longer see Pakistan as a useful ally. It may be a useful temporary ally of some sorts, but the Americans have never trusted Pakistan. There is no trust in geopolitics. There is no friendships. So today, Pakistan has gone into the Chinese camp, which the Americans will not be very pleased about. And Pakistan could end up becoming a valuable asset for China, because the Chinese will want to access the warm waters of the Indian Ocean via Pakistan. They are building the China-Pakistan economic corridor, etc. So this alliance with Pakistan is going to strengthen China significantly. Secondly, the Chinese want to use Afghanistan as a transit route for their Belt and Road infrastructure. So the Americans today are focusing more on China, because China is rising as a global competitor to the Americans. And I have discussed this before, that the Thucydides trap says that when an existing hegemonic power is confronted with the rise of a new hegemonic power, then war is almost inevitable. This is called the Thucydides trap. So the Americans may be planning for long-term, for possibly eventual war with the Chinese, or to delay China's projects, or to sabotage Chinese projects, such as the Belt and Road infrastructure, the China-Pakistan economic corridor, etc. So one of the ways to do this is to start a new civil war in this region, using the Taliban, using the Pakistani Taliban to destabilize Pakistan, eventually possibly even Balkanize Pakistan. So it is a possibility. I am not saying it is what's happening. I am not privy to what the American planners are thinking. I am not privy to the thoughts, but it is definitely a possibility, because now the Americans are seriously feeling threatened by the rise of China. So all their actions, their so-called withdrawal from Afghanistan, it is a price they are willing to pay. They are willing to pay the price of looking like they have been humiliated and they've lost, for a much bigger long-term geopolitical objective, which is to sabotage Chinese projects in this region. And certainly balkanizing Pakistan would do the job. So that is certainly a possibility that we should not discount, that the Americans may want to, let's say, balkanize Pakistan in the next 10 years or so. It is definitely a possibility.